Hello, hello, hello. Just gonna wait for people to come in before we start. Shalom, sis. Thank you for being here. Gonna wait a few minutes. You know, we'll start. Hopefully, it'll be just as engaging as part one. Um, it was really fun getting the research, finding out a lot of things. Some of the things I'm gonna bring out, I'm gonna reiterate for people that wasn't here last week. Shalom. Um, Hopefully, like I said, is going to be educational for many of y'all. And as always, we give praise all to the Almighty God, Abba Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, who is our Savior, our Lord, our leader, our King, our Shepherd. So last week we was talking about voodoo and curious arts, and looking at my notes, I've went to voodoo from the Haitian perspective, everything that incorporates it, and other disciplines. But today I'm gonna bring about other like religious beliefs or arts that come and where they come from and how they are influenced by European religions. So and other things that I would like to for y'all to know, for y'all to when y'all go to discussions or have discussions with other people, y'all are certain of the information I'm about to bring because many people don't know about the sources of information you could get. You could get them from Google, but a more certain and appreciated source is Google Scholar, right? So last week I brought about the fact that in the book of Acts, chapter 19, it speaks about curious arts, right? And I'm going to go there right now and read it again for people that wasn't here. So Acts chapter 19, verse 13. And this is during uh, the path that many disciples went through, because Acts is basically what it stipulates, written by Luke. The book of Acts tells the story of how the apostles went through different cities and converted many people, right? Through the things that they did and professing that Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, a black man, according to the Bible, in the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 7, in the book of Revelations, chapter 1, verse 13, right? And it reads, Then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Yahweh, Jesus, which is Yahweh Shah, saying, We adjure you by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, whom Paul preacheth, right? Because a lot of people want to bring Paul above Christ. Well, Paul is not above Christ because Paul preached of Christ, right? And there were seven sons, one of Sceva, a Jew, and chief of the priests, which did so. And the evil spirits answered and said, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye? Right? And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them and overcame them and prevailed against them, so that they fled out of that house naked and wounded. So those exorcists, they was dabbling in things they weren't supposed to dabble with. And the spirit told them, I know Yahweh and I know Paul, but I don't know who you are. And that spirit leapt upon that man and made him basically lose his mind. Right? And this was known to all the Jews and Greeks also dwelling at Ephesus. And fear fell on them all, and the name of the Lord, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, was magnified. And many that believed came and confessed and showed their deeds. Many of them also, which used curious arts, brought their books together and burned them before all men, and they counted the price of them and found it to be 50,000 pieces of silver. So we could see in Ephesus and through like many cities of the world, in many cities where Israelites are called by the Most High to go there and preach the word, that evil is being done. But now, what many of people don't know is the fact that voodoo, Haitian voodoo, obia, right, Santeria, and there's another one, I can't even remember the name because it's very convoluted, candomblé, right, which is from Brazil, which has Spanish influences, right? They all come from one place, or one, I would say, one society or one nation. After Israel fled from what they call in the news the Middle East, right? Where Palestinians and so-called Jewish people live, which is not their land, right? That place was called the city of Benin, right? And I'm going to show y'all a picture of the city of Benin and what it looked like, right? Bear witness. Now, the city of Benin had the largest wall in history. Not the Chinese one. The Chinese wall, yeah, it's low, it's big. It's a big wall. But it does not compare to what our people built. Because in the city of Benin, they had this wall that circumvented the city that was more than 16,000 kilometers or close to 10,000 miles in length. People say, oh, the Great Wall of China is one of the 7 wonders of the world. Well, the wall of Benin it was an amazing sight. And in that city, many of these disciplines that we read about, voodoo and so on and so forth, is what brought down that city, because they was doing things that was against the laws of God, right? And we could see how it looked on the inside with the corridors looking like this. But in 1897, so-called British, the French, and the Spanish came against Benin to destroy it, to destroy that city. And now you only see remnants of this and what it used to look like. Only remnants. The British came in January 10th, right, 1897, circa 1897, and not only destroyed the city of Benin, but also burned it to the ground and stole religious artifacts that are found in Britain and different museums around the world. And this is what the so-called white man does. They go about and they destroy. They claim to want to be friends. They claim many things, right? But all they do is roam the earth with the sword and rob and pillage, right? Let's go to Psalms chapter 55, verse 21. And it reads, no, let's start at verse 19. God shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old, Selah, because they have no changes. Therefore, they fear not God. He hath put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His sword was softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. They came into the city of Benin. They saw the wall and everything. And instead of being in reverence and respect of what they saw, this is a city that took 150 million man hours to build. The walls took 150 million man hours to build. Now that's a magnificent sight to see walls being built to protect the city. And many I would say movies and anime is based on this. Anybody that knows an anime from I think Japan, Japan, called Attack on Titan, then you know what this, you know that it came from us. Everything in the world come from us, whether it be directly of a direct relation or indirect relation. We are the source of many ideas and many concepts that this world bring about, right? Now, let's keep going, right? Now, because of this massacre on January 10th, every year, the people of Benin celebrate a festive custom called in French, it's called la fête of Voodoo, which is the I would say the birthday of Voodoo, the birthday, right? And they celebrate that in the city of Ouida. Now I'm gonna write it down into the chat, and it's spelled Ouida. Now that's not by accident, because our people are the people of God. We are the true Israelites, the true people of God. And they changed the spelling, but the meaning is clear because it is basically Judah, just spelled different. And the city of Ouida, Judah, is found all over the west coast of Africa. It's found in many places. Now, this city, which is the city of Benin, which is the Great Wall of Benin, had a moat, it had walls, and in the city itself, they had people live there, people commune and have a whole society in there, which is amazing. And it took, that city was built from 800 BC all the way to close to, I would say, the 1400s. So it took many man hours, much labor to build. But the British, the French, and the Portuguese came and they destroyed it. They stole from us. They robbed us of artifacts. But that robbery is not something that is just their fault. We brought this upon ourselves because we went away from what the Most High demanded us to do. We went away from what Moses, what Joshua, Caleb, every apostle, Aaron, and our ancestors taught us to do. We went away from that. And because of that, we have to pay a price. All right? Now, from that city, we had different, like I said, we had different disciplines, right, that came about in wickedness, right? Because we were praying to spirits and different entities, but not directly to the Almighty Father, right? And we were praying to deities like this. Shango, right? We were praying to Shango. We were praying to different things. Now, if you look at Shango, right? Shango, you know what? In this time frame, Shango is represented in the white man's world as who? As Thor. So-called Thor from Marvel Comics, from Avengers, right? Everything they steal from us. In everything that they do, they steal. And if you realize, right, Shango is an Orisha. Now, later on, I want y'all to remember this word, Orisha. Orisha. Right? I want y'all to remember this word, Orisha, because Orisha is found in Candomblé. It is found in Santeria also. And that word means basically ancestor or spirit, right? Now, remember this, right? Now, like I said last week, Obia, right? Obia was a discipline that is not central. That's not centrally concentrated in one country in the West Indies, right? It came from the Yoruba tribe, which lived also in Benin, in Togo, in Ghana, right? And Nigeria, right? Because the kingdom of Benin stretched a vast part of West Africa. Now, Obia encompassed many beliefs and practices which have to do with channeling supernatural spiritual forces, treating illnesses, right? Bringing good fortune, right? And avenging against harm. Now, in scripture, there are laws that say that if it's a righteous thing, right, to seek vengeance who do harm against you. But it never said that you could pray to the Orishas, to spirits, to Loa, to lesser beings under the Most High. Now, Christ is a mediator, right? He's a mediator between us and the Almighty Father. And he's from the order of Melchizedek, which is in the book of Hebrews. But our ancestors, our forefathers, was praying to Shango, and according to my notes, I will bring it out later, Shango was a real person. Was a real person. He was a ruler of the Yoruba tribe, right? But we made these people to be more important than the Most High Almighty Father, which is wrong, right? But let's continue. During that time where Obia was being used in West Indies, right? Esau would see what we were doing and would deem it to be evil, because the Obias, men and women, and a lot of them did not practice the same thing. Some of them practice good fortune, right? Which is to help our people to have good crops. Others would practice Obia to have political and communal influence over the people. Other Obias would use artifacts or plants, fruits and vegetables to help people, whether it be physiologically or mentally with their issues. And there are some Obias that do everything. Other Obias concentrated on certain disciplines like sacrifice or good fortune or creating necklaces and amulets to help people with ailments, right? And I'm going to bring all of that out. And I'm going to show you why the white man is so-called white man, European man, the Spanish, the French, the English, the British, all of them are wicked, because a lot of plants and food that we take for granted, they hold close to the vest and they won't share. They will not share with us unless you find it and actively know what the name of them are, right? But let's go to Baruch chapter 2, verse 1. Because we brought this on ourselves. Let's be honest. We brought this on ourselves. Therefore, the Lord has made good his word, which he pronounced against us and against our judges that judges Israel, and against our kings, and against our princes, and against the men of Israel and Judah, which is in Israel at that time, and today, which is in Benin and West Africa too. Right? Because as children of the Lord remains until the end of time, and the Lord transcends time, to bring upon us great plagues such as never happened under the whole heaven, as it came to pass in Jerusalem, according to the things that were written in the law of Moses, that a man should eat the flesh of his own son and the flesh of his own daughter. Moreover, he had delivered them to be in subjection to all the kingdoms that are around about us. Who came round about us? The Spanish, the French, the British, right? They came round about us. To be as a reproach and a desolation among all the people around about, where the Lord hath scattered them. Thus we were cast down and not exalted, because we have sinned against the Lord our God, and have not been obedient to his voice. We're hearing other voices. We praying to Orixas, Loa, instead of going directly to the Most High. Right? To the Lord our God appertaining righteousness, but unto us and unto our fathers open shame, as appeareth this day. Because still to this day, we got people in the West Indies practicing Obia. Now, there are good parts in Obia. There are good parts in what some of these disciplines do. But there are other parts that have to be cut out. Right? They have to be cut out. Because let's be honest, what's evil is evil, and what is good, right? Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. See that? But we have to hear the right voices. And what are those voices? We have to go back to the scriptures. We have to seek the Lord at his mouth, as the book of Malachi says. Let's go there. Book of Malachi, chapter 2, verse 6. The law of truth was in his mouth, right? Iniquity was not found in his lips. He walketh with me in peace and equity, and did turn many away from iniquity. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth, for he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts. He is the messenger of the Lord of hosts. And that's what we should do. Right? Which is a good thing. But we must separate what is right and what is wrong. That is what some of these Obias, some of them were doing right, good things, right? But in the Obia, shall we say, for lack of a better word, religion, there was no organization or central point to worship, because a lot of what Obias do pertains to healing, right? Spell casting, right? And making amulets, making necklaces to be worn. Some of them, like even in Asia, right? They used certain herbs they would put in pouches, and people would carry them, and those pouches would release, for lack of a better word, scents and odors and aromas to help with issues of the body. And that's what obias, some of them would do. But in Trinidad, they followed who? Shango. They followed Shango and they would worship Shango, right? And even in Brazil, they would spell Shango with an X, Xango. Meanwhile, in other places like Trinidad, the Shango would be spelled Shango. So we have a connection to our people, to the spirit, but not according to knowledge, not according to the understanding that we should know, right? Now, for y'all to know, y'all could do your own research, but Shango, right, was a real person. It was a king of the Yoruba people. He was a king of the Yoruba people, right? And he died. Now, the circumstances of his death are very murky, and a lot of in Benin, behind the Great Wall, a lot of people were practicing these disciplines, right? Of Obia, following Shango. But there were kings in Benin that practiced, that were great warriors, but also magicians. Also magicians. Now, if you practice what the Most High would call witchcraft, we know what Most High think about witchcraft and necromancers and people that practice magic. We've seen that with Saul in the last class, what happened to him. We've seen that Saul himself as king outlawed witchcraft in the kingdom. But yet, in the last days of his life, he sought the witch of Endor to wake up Samuel to get advice, or to get understanding, or to get a premonition, or to be able to see what would happen in the war, which was what many of these people that practice Obia, Candomblé, Haitian Voodoo, and Santeria want. They want to be able to be powerful, to be able to do certain things that are what appear to be righteous, but on the left-hand side. And that's why during colonial times in Jamaica and in the West Indies, many laws were passed to outlaw obias, because obias had influence over the people, to not only make him scared, but also give him courage, to tell him what to do, to move the people to resist colonial imperialism, or colonial influence by the so-called white man, right? But the means by which they were doing this was wrong, by the left-hand side. So we know what would happen when the white man saw that many of these disciplines and obias were blocking them from entering and finding out what they were doing, getting information on how to be an obia, what the plants were, what the influences were, and how being an obia, or a priest of the Kandule, or a follower of Shango, or follower of Haitian Voodoo, how it would influence the people. When they saw they couldn't do that, they passed laws against it. They said that being an obia was against the law, and that was in the 1700s. They said you cannot practice these things. You cannot have a convocation together to do these things. and influence the people, it was divide and conquer. Let's divide them with religion, which comes from the root of the word religion is religio, to restrict and divide. So they would incorporate their own saints, Saint X, Y, and Z, Saint Mark, Saint Peter, Saint this and Saint that, right? Which all look white through to Renaissance paintings to divide our people, right? But if our people were doing what the Most High wanted us to do, we wouldn't have been conquered. And that we could see that in 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face. Whose face? The face of the Most High, the face of Most High and his only begotten Son, not Shango, not statuettes or statues that supposedly represent the Most High God, which he hates, right? And seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Now my eyes shall be open and my ears attend unto the prayer that is made in this place. What place? The place that the Most High deemed to be his people, the people of God, the people of Israel, right? Because we are all kings and priests according to the scriptures. But we gotta make it to the point where we have to give up these disciplines and follow the Most High, follow him, not being obius. Now, I'll say it again. Like there are certain things in being an obiot that are good, and I'll bring that out, right? But in the West Indies, our ancestors fought against the European imposition and their cultural values that were trying to push upon us. We could see that with the Haitians. We could see that the Haitians helped Ecuador, helped Venezuela, helped many of these countries that were round about us. And that's why America cannot allow Haiti to get a foothold, to understand who they are. They have to push their own beliefs upon the people as hard as they can. And I did a whole class upon that where the National Endowment for Democracy, which is basically another extension of the CIA, goes into Haiti. And they can't allow the Haitians to gain power because that's one of the seats of power in Israel. And my people, the Levites, Haitians, Haitians, you have to wake up, man. You have to wake up because these people, they scared of y'all. They scared of Israel. They scared of Levites. They scared of all of our people. Our people, like 90% of Haitians over there, still practicing Haitian voodoo, still to this day. And the 10% that are educated, they don't want to educate the other 90%, which is why, because they want to keep the money flow, right? Pierre L'Espérance, he's one of the rocks of impediment that is stopping our people from growing. But to continue, there would the so-called white man would portray what OBS are doing and all these different disciplines are doing as evil. Now, is some of it evil? Yes. Is some of it bad? Yes. But it's our job, sisters and brothers that are watching this video, it's our job to open their eyes to what they're doing and cut out the fat from these disciplines and keep the milk, the herbs, the plants, the knowledge of the earth that we need to help people with their ailments, help people with their bodies and the things that they suffer from, right? Now, in 1760s, right, in Jamaica, there were, like I said before, there was laws that was passed to stop obias from bringing the community together because they were scared that those men would bring our people to be rallied up, to get weapons, to get armaments to fight against colonialism. To be able to commune with the people, your own people, you have to get a permit or back then tickets to be able to commune together, right? If you were caught doing obia, you would be thrown in jail. Be thrown in jail, demonized, and be perceived as somebody that was creating dissent, and they would destroy you by any means necessary, right? Now, there are many plants that are helpful to our people, right? There are many plants that people don't know about, and they are very helpful to our people to be able to be cured. Now, I'm going to give you all the names, but Baba Gasha, know this. No, you know what? I want y'all to find me on Facebook or find me on the platform, find me on Facebook, and I will give you certain names. I'll give you a few of them right now, right? And this is courtesy of my brother Banya Wasa from LOI. Love that brother. May the brother be blessed. May all brothers be blessed and sisters in this chat be blessed. I love y'all more than y'all know. I know sometimes I may be abrasive or say things that are out of line or annoying, but I hope that y'all listen to what I got to say and pay heed, right? Now, there's plants called ephedra, right? That plant is used for asthma and weight loss and basically cardiovascular issues. I'll give you another one. It's called kava. It has many different names, but it's called kava, right? That plant is for anxiety and insomnia. Now, you would wear that around your neck, right? Like I said before, the OBS would create amulets. They would create necklaces. And in Asia, they would put plants and I would say plants and poultices and pouches, and people would get the remedies in their nose and smell like Vicks Vapor Rub or Tiger Balm or stuff like that. That's not new. There's nothing new under the sun, right? But our people, if you go back to in the old days, like our elders, like General Hasha or Karab, right? Elders, they will tell you about remedies. They will tell you, take this, take that. You got this ailment, take this. You got issues with your heart, take foxglove. You have issues with anxiety, take kava, right? Now, this is how wicked the white man is, right? Kava, right, has many names. Kava, one plant of kava, just a small plant, maybe 5 or 8 inches, costs $95. If you're lucky, you might find it for $35 on Etsy. But if you have the money now, go get it. Baba Kasha, go get it. Because these are plants in these times, right, that the pharmaceutical companies will demonize our people back in the day with Obia and with Voodoo and with Santeria and all these different disciplines and make them look like demons. But in the meantime, they'll hold those plants and they make them for pills and profit the heck out of the nation, out of people that need it to relax, to be calm, to be serene. But they won't sell you the seed. They will sell you the pill, but not the source. They will sell you the issue, not the source. Right? Just like Gaddafi said, these people will create a problem and they will wait till the problem becomes so existential or so big, then they will come a few later, oh, we get the solution. But they had the solution from get-go. They want you to be a subservient to them. They want to monetize everything. And these are knowledge that our ancestors, our forefathers had. But we are too, my forefather, Oh, my grandparents, they don't know anything. They old. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what they know. This is why, like, I would ask brothers and sisters, if you got forefathers or grandparents, go and talk to them. Go and talk to them and find out, hey, what should I take for this? In the old country, in Jamaica, in Haiti, in Santo Domingo, in Brazil, in Colombia, in Venezuela, what did we take to fix this issue? What did we take to deal with this issue? Right? So, what did we take to deal with this issue? What did we take for heart conditions, for cancer tumors? Right? Oh, your forefathers say, oh, you would take something like for cancer or for bone issues, you'll take U, which is YEW, right? Oh, take for stomach or bone issues, take this, take that. You got issues with anxiety or with insomnia, you can't sleep. Instead of going to get melatonin, get some kava. Get a plant that you could take the seeds or take the leaves, mash it real well in I don't remember the name. If y'all know the name, mash it in a bowl and take it in. But people, we don't know our grandfathers like this. There's even a scripture in the Bible, another name for it, in the Apocrypha, it says, right? Ecclesiasticus chapter 38, verse 4. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. To abhor is to hate. You're not going to hate what the Most High give you. You're not going to hate what the earth gives you, because you come from the earth. You come from the source that the Most High made and put breath in. So everything that you have an ailment for, there's a solution for it. You just have to go back to your forefathers. Go back to Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 8. And it reads, no, verse 7, remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee. Can you imagine? Our forefathers would say, I would say, Granddad, I can't seem to be able to sleep. Is there something I could take to? Yeah, go in the backyard. See that plant in that corner? Which one? That one right there. Go to the right. Oh, you got it. Boom. Grab that. Now go put it in the strainer, mash it up. Once you're done, if you want, put some apple with it, just for sweet taste. Take that. Boom. You would fall asleep. You would be relaxed. But now we got a whole different demographic. Everything we want, we have to go to Walgreens. Go to CVS, Rite Aid, and go get something that our forefathers knew what we should take. And those people were called what? Obius. But if you read the book Medical Apartheid, they're Negro doctors. Let's call it like it is. They're Negro doctors. Right? Now, those amulets, right, that seem to be voodoo, where they put around your neck and they put plants in there, they put different things to help you out, and you even have plants that you would put on in your body and on your arm. If your arm was broken, it would fix your issue, right? Are they not tassels? Technically, if you want to be real technical, they're tassels. Because in Numbers chapter 15, the Most High gives the order to wear tassels. But it never said that you cannot add remedies to these tassels. You cannot add different elements to these tassels to help you, to help your people. Most High want us to wear tassels. He never said you can't be imaginative. He never said you can't be experiment and push to the limit. I want you to. The Most High, Yahushua said what? You shall do greater things. You shall do these things and greater things than these. So he Most High want us. Yahushua want us to push the envelope, to push our knowledge, to help our people against the ailments, right? Because what did Elisha do in the scriptures with Naaman? I'm asking, what did Elisha do with Naaman? Right? I want somebody to tell me. In 2 Kings, what did Elisha do with Naaman? It seemed so simple, but at the same time, it was high level. There's a certain beauty in the high level of the Most High in simplicity. People look at simplicity as being worthless. But I understand, because in the scriptures it says, how long ye simple ones will love simplicity. But simplicity in certain instances is the highest form of wisdom. I'm asking, what did Elisha tell Naaman to do to cure himself in the scriptures in 2 Kings? Right? What did Naaman do? What did Elisha, the student of Elijah, tell Naaman to do to cure himself of leprosy in 2 Kings? Come on. I know y'all know that. Come on, people. I know y'all know this. Somebody. Talk to me. Talk to me. What did Naaman have to do to cure himself from leprosy? What did Elisha tell Naaman to do? Yes, Sister Beverly, yes. Elisha told Naaman to go dip himself 7 times in the Jordan to cure himself. And now we could read that. So 2 Kings chapter 5. Let's start at verse 10. Right? And it says, and Elisha, because Elisha came from far. People had told him, yo, you can cure yourself from leprosy if you go see this man from far away. He came from far away, right? And he said, and Elisha sent a messenger unto him, saying, go and wash in Jordan 7 times, and thy flesh shall come again to thee, and thou shalt be clean. But Naaman was wroth. He was angry, right? You're like, what? He was angry and went away and said, behold, I thought he will surely come out to me and stand and call on the name of the Lord his God and strike his hand over the place and recover the leper. Are not Abana, the Pharpar rivers of Damascus better than all the waters of Israel? May I now wash in them and be clean? So he turned and went away in a rage. And his servant came near and spake unto him and said, my father, if the prophet had bid thee to do some great thing, wilt thou not have done it? How much better then when he saith to thee, wash and be clean? Then went he down and dipped himself 7 times in the Jordan, according to the saying of the man of God, and his flesh came again like unto the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. He was clean. Now, does that seem like spiritual prowess? Or is that just a remedy that the Most High gave us as a people that seemed high level, but it's simplicity itself? I'm saying, go watch it in the Jordan. Go watch in the Jordan, man. You're going to be good. 7 times, you'll be good. You're like, yo, like, I came all the way here. Like, you told me to come all the way here, and you told me to do this. Like, nah. Oh, man. I can't believe this dude. I came all the way from, and you come. Nah, man, I'm not down with this. I thought you was gonna smack your hand on my leprosy and do all this and it. Just go wash in the Jordan. It's that easy. What seems to be low level is high level within simplicity, which is what makes the Most High the greatest. Not Shango, not Orishas, Orixas, none of that. The Most High. And that's the error that our people do. And that's what I want to have our people from Cuba, from which Santeria come from, and before that from the Yoruba tribe. Voodoo also in Haiti. They have to listen to this. Fanukute, you have to listen to this. Yeah, you have to stop that voodoo nonsense. You have to stop. Now, dancing for the Most High and beating drums for the Most High, yes, that's fine. But praying to lesser spirits than the Most High, that is the part that is wrong. That's the part that is not good. So now, we're going to move to Santeria. My Dominican people, my Cuban people, I'm talking to y'all, right? Santeria is so-called Cuban in nature, meaning after the so-called white man brought our people into slavery in Cuba, in Haiti, and in South America, in the West Indies, right? Because I'll tell you that y'all this, from my own father, I was told that the boat that brought my great-great-grandfather to the West Indies was supposed to stop in Cuba. But my great-great-grandfather ended up in Haiti. And many people, that's how it happened. They were supposed to end up somewhere. They end up somewhere else. They spoke another language. Now, keep in mind, we are just separated by a few islands and a few degrees of separation. No pun intended. Right? But we are all the same people. And we could see that in all these different disciplines that use the same wording, the same spiritual thought process, and are influenced by the same white man with different languages, whether it be Spanish, French, or English. That's all it is, right? But Santeria is, as the other disciplines, is African in descent from the Yoruba tribe. And Santeria had different names: Orisha, Babal Orisha, Ilial Yorisha. And I write it in the chat, right? And that's the word that I asked y'all to remember before. Salat Orisha, right? Babal Orisha, and also Iyal Orisha, right? And since its inception, it has been growing and growing more in influence. And it's not by accident. It's by design, because the so-called white man wants to separate us from our brethren, whether it be in Cuba or on the same island of Hispaniola, right? It has been even incorporated, even so-called white people are practicing this. And it's not even pertaining to them, right? Negroes are practicing Santeria. You got so-called mixed people, because there's no such thing as mixed. But there are people that they think that exists, and I'm here to tell you also, mixed race don't exist, because you are who your father is, according to Numbers chapter 1, verse 18, right? From the father come the seed. So your father is who you are, whether male or female, right? But in a Santeria belief, God is named Olundumare, right? Oludumare, which is the Most High. Right? Olundumare, which is the Most High. And they use the same term, Orika. So you see, it's varying degrees. And they beat, so like my people, Haitian people, they beat drums, they sing, they dance, they do sacrifices to the dead, which is bad, which Most High hate, because Yahushua said what? Let the dead bury the dead. And God is the God of who? The God of the living. Right? The God of the living. But also from Cuba, right? After, the so-called white man brought my Cuban brothers in Cuba from slavery, right? They were called the Lucumi, right? Which is another name for the Yoruba tribe. I'll write in the Lucumi. It's another tribe. It's another name they gave that was given to the Cuban slaves, right? And in 1948, the same year that the so-called Jewish man, right, came into Israel, what they call on the news the Middle East, to confuse the people. More than 80 years after slavery, what did they do? Right? In the land of Cuba, you could still find, at that time in 1948, Salah, you could still find people that spoke Yoruba. Certain people, they still knew the language. And through time, a lot of those people, and hopefully, if a Cuban person is listening right now, if you have an ancestor that speak Yoruba, please go learn that language. Don't let it die with your ancestor. Don't let it die with your forefather. Learn as much as you can. If you have to, sit down, take notes, and listen to what they got to say. They could bring about knowledge that you lacking, or that small piece of the puzzle that could elevate yourself and elevate other people that are around you. Right? So much buzzing. But many Europeans, right, they incorporated their own beliefs in the new world, in the Negro world that they discovered during that time, during slavery times. They incorporated colonization and the so-called white Christ and Catholic saints within African deities, which is why we have been backsliding for a while. It's time to stop backsliding and start moving forward. And move forward is the goal. And how do we move forward? Let's go to Luke chapter 9, verse 62. And it reads, "And Yahushua said unto him, No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of God." So we cannot backslide and adopt certain things and not understanding how they affect us. Because we went from Israel, our holy land, the mother of us all, right? Which is in Galatians chapter 4, verse Salah. Galatians chapter 4, verse 26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. That's our homeland. That's our source, the greatest connection we have to the Most High. And we were booted out of the land by the Most High for acting wickedly. And now, after that, Salah, we went to West Africa, and we were even more, we built magnificent monuments. In Benin, the Great Wall of Benin took 150 million man hours to do. That means that men upon men, which shows us that we go all the way back to Egypt. A monument that is larger and bigger than the so-called Great Wall of China. And we built that. Right? And we backslid. And after that, we were brought into slavery into the Americas. And even now, we backsliding again. And after that, we were going on the left-hand side doing all these disciplines, Voodoo, Obia, Santeria, Candomblé, and we have been at the lowest totem pole. Now we're starting to get back. We went from monkeys to niggas. Now we're going back to an African American and all these different proverbs and bywords that the Most High warned us would happen to us. Proverbs and bywords. And the Most High told us would happen. Deuteronomy 28, verse 37. And it reads, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword upon all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shalt gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. Now, who's the locusts? Yeah, we could talk about locusts in terms of insects, but also the so-called white man is a locust. Wherever he goes, he devours. Con, sister, con. They are blinded. Only a few people know in that land what's going on. Only a few people know what's going on. Now, candomblé, right? What is it? It's from Brazil. And candomblé has a relationship with the Bantu people. They also worship spirits. They worship the same God, which is Alundamu Mare, which is the Most High, the God of Yoruba, who goes back to the Most High, right? But the problem is, just like Voodoo, which is Loa, just like Santeria, they worship who? They worship lesser beings. They're Rixa. Only the spelling is different. Only the spelling. Right? And candomblé is connected to Roman Catholicism. That means you know what's going on there. They're looking at white people. And that has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with these so-called paintings of Renaissance from so-called Michelangelo and other painters, right? And if you do your research on art history, you'll see that many of these Edomites, they went down to West Indies, they go down to South America, and they perverted everything. Even worse, we was bad before. We was bad before. Don't get me wrong, we was some bad children. But they made us even worse, right? Now, candomblé, and I'll spell it inside. Candomblé. Because con being deemed good, which is it's all part of the plan. Because candomblé, which is spelled like this, right? Candomblé was practiced by a majority of slaves in Brazil. And like I said before, it's from Yoruba, the Yoruba tribe, which of the Homian origin, which is from Benin, which is where most of Levi lived, right? But 4 million slaves were transported from Benin by the Spanish, because the French, they carried some, the British, they carried some, right? Many of these people, they had a hand in our slavery, and they had a hand in us going astray, right? And they will look at you and tell you this. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 7. My people, verse 6, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away unto the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place, which is Israel. All that found them have devoured them. And their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. So they said, hey, I want y'all to read this book. I don't have another book, but read this book right here, right? And you have a choice if you want to believe or not. But unbeknownst to our people, they were being led astray. They were being led astray, right? And all these influences from all these different disciplines have an influence from the so-called white man and their religion, and what is called today syncretism, which is basically bringing all different disciplines together, different religions and thought process together to convolute the people. And where do we see that in the Bible? In the book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 6. And it reads, and the Lord said, let me start at verse 5. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one. They have all one language, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go, let us go down and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. Which is why the Most High does not want syncretism. He does not want all these religions to come together. If there was, it would be syncretism in the world. It would be one belief system, one thought process, and that's in the scriptures, not in these different disciplines: Condole, Haitian Voodoo, Santeria, Obia, right? No. Most High want us, of course, to use herbs. He gave us these herbs. to use fruit, vegetables to make sacrifice, fruits and animal sacrifice, which were Cain and Abel, right? But now we have gone so far left. We have allowed the white man to confuse us, mess with our heads, and even convince us to harm each other. And there's even certain tribes in Africa that are still guilty to this day, so-called African tribes, of selling Israel into slavery. There's even some of them that made an announcement to beg for forgiveness for having the children of Israel in slavery. I don't remember his name, but there was a king that said that, right? But all this to say that we've done some amazing things. Even though we was pushed out of Israel by the Most High, he had pity on us to send us in a place where not only could we mesh with the people, but we could make money. We could live and not be persecuted because we would look like everybody else in the midst of them. But even then, in the city of Benin, we was doing things that Most High did not approve of, which is why he sent the so-called white man against us and destroyed the city of Benin. Destroyed it right down to the foundation. If not, that place would have been the greatest city on earth, the greatest, one of the greatest monuments on earth, greater than this Great Wall of China. So with that, I want y'all to remember, in these disciplines, Obia, Haitian Voodoo, Santeria, there are things that were approved that Most High was okay with. Because in Exodus chapter 15, right, we all go to Exodus 15:3, but the first verse in Exodus 15 is what? Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and song, and he is become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him an habitation, my father's God, and I will exalt him. Right? And even when we had our people going around the city of Jericho, see that? Thank you for bringing it out, sister. See that? Candomblé is now officially recognized and protected. Because they want us to go astray. They absolutely want us to go astray to keep this kingdom going. As long as we keep doing wickedness, this whole system will keep marching on. And how do we know that? There is a time in our history where cocaine and drugs sustained the economy of America. Now, if this land was about the Lord, the so-called white man would have put a stop to that. No way, we got to kill this. We can't sell drugs in America. We're about the Most High. But they didn't do that. Now they officially recognize Candomblé as a religion, and they're protecting it, which is madness and wickedness on a high level. That's why we have to have people that go out there and know what these disciplines are, not to practice them. In no way I'm saying to practice them. I'm saying to pray to the Lord, dance, play drums, do sacrifices on the high holy days that the Most High demand. And even in the scriptures, Elisha had built a whole temple, and they had danced for the Lord. What did David do when he came back from war? He danced with the servants, and they were playing the drums, sacrificing animals, making the Most High happy, but not Oryxes or orishas, none of Olua or lesser spirits. They pray directly and sacrifice directly to the Most High. Period. So with that, Babakasha, please be aware. People practice certain things. You ask them, what is that? Oh, it's Obia. What are you practicing from Obia? Are you studying herbs and giving amulets and tassels with herbs and giving them medicine, or are you practicing it to pray to lesser beings? If it's the latter, you have to tell them, you got to stop that, because Exodus 20 is very clear. Most High is jealous. The Most High is jealous, right? Exodus 20, verse 3, thou shalt have no other gods before me. No Shango, no lesser beings, none of that, right? Thou shalt not make any graven image or any likeness that is of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers onto the children, onto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. And that's why we've been going backwards and backwards from Israel, our holy land, our home, our source of our power, the seat of power on the Most High, all the way to Americas, South America, and doing all these things that the Most High does not want. He want us to, like, how can I deal with my people? Y'all doing some awful stuff. And he draped us with gold, draped us with different garments, looking nice. Any father or mother in the chat that have children, you know, like, yo, if I could, I would drape my child in the most nicest flies stuff, flies gear, coming from the earth, flaxseed, from cotton, from wool in the winter, looking fly. But Most High's like, no, they're not ready. Y'all still practicing voodoo. Y'all still practicing Kondule, which is now protected and recognized. Y'all still practicing Santeria, and even trying to kill each other on the island of Española with these disciplines. And it was like, no, I'm not gonna drape y'all. Y'all not ready. Y'all not ready. We're not even able to cure other people just by the faith that many apostles in the book of Acts did. How Peter cured people, how Paul cured people. We're not even there, but we want to talk to lesser spirits, just like Saul and the witch of Endor trying to raise up Samuel. No. The kingdom of heaven is within you, within us. And to bring it out is our job. And this is the last scripture I'm going to bring out. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 5. Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. We got to draw out that magnificent spirit. We got to draw out that gift. If you want to start with herbs and giving people herbs and giving pouches to hang around their neck, a Vicks Vapor Rub, a Tiger Balm, even before Tiger Balm was on the scene, we was on the scene. Before massages and chiropractors was on the scene, we was here. We was here. We was here. Before, what's his name? Dr. Phil and Oprah and those celebrities that sell their liberty for money was here. We was here. And women, for y'all to know, it was in this city, right, that you see on screen that Elam, Moab, Ammon, and different nations brought their children to be taught. They brought their children from all over to be taught in this city by you women, because y'all was on a whole other level. Y'all was on a whole other level. But now we got women that listen to Sexy Red, that listens to Cardi B, Sukiyani, listen to these different artists, and they push these artists on the forefront rather than push the righteous women, the women that try to educate the children, try to teach them about plants, about different things that will bring about greatness upon the earth, amazing things. And we can see that because we got children that are 5, 6, 10 years old, graduating from university with degrees. That's the Most High just saying, yeah, I could make you great. Even as a child, I could make you great. Just like Josiah. He was a king. Not even 14 years old. He was a king in Israel. It has nothing to do with age. It has to be your mentality. It has to be, on what time are you on? What time are you on? Are you willing to spend 150 million hours to build a city like this? Or you want to go on Instagram and do things that are reprehensible? Huh? Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 7, right? But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me, for all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. But this is what the Most High say. Verse 8, behold, I have made thy face strong against their face, and thy forehead strong against their forehead. Verse 9, as adamant harder than flint, I have made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. Rebellious house. So women, we got to get back to that, man. What y'all see on screen, we got to get back on that, man. Building cities like this, for us, it was easy work. Because we was like, man, we got to protect what we got. And I'm going to show you, right, from, let me see. I'm going to show y'all. Let me see. Because I want y'all to understand. See that? No, this one. No, not this one. Salah. See that? This is not new. We've been doing this. We've been doing this. See that? This is the same thing that our forefathers built. And they use our ideas to make TV shows out of. They use our ideas to make TV shows out of. But they will never tell you where they got the idea. They will never tell you that it came from us. But with that, I appreciate y'all for coming and watching me and listening to me ramble on. I know I'll be rambling on sometimes. It's just I want y'all to really memorize what I'm saying, because I take great pleasure in doing research. And I'm going to show y'all one more thing, right? Just for y'all to understand. Let me see. Etsy. Right? Etsy. And how serious the so-called white man is in his wickedness. Kava, right? Like I said before, kava is a plant. But look at this. This plant is so valuable, they sell it at $35 for a small plant like this. $35 for this. $35. Because they know how important that plant is, and they can't have us have it. I'm telling y'all, if y'all can, whatever y'all can, grab at least one or two of them if you have it, because this is just 6 inches for a 6-inch plant at $35 in the 4-inch pot. You understand? So there's a beautiful reason why the Most High gave us herbs. Yes, the uprooted version is $98. The so-called white man is ruthless. But I thank y'all for watching. Hopefully I'll get some beautiful other inspiration from the Most High for next class. I wish y'all a good Shabbat, a good weekend, and a restful new moon, right? Because today's a new moon. A restful new moon. Take care of yourself. May this new moon bring you everything that you pray for, because it's a new month. Let it be a new beginning, because during the new moon, your body changes with the flow of water, and let it bring about change, blessings, new understanding, wisdom beyond what you need, because it's never too much, right? And I wish y'all a good rest of your night and a good morning, all right? The water, Damyad, al-Walam, to all of you. Kwam Yashua.